Here we go. Here's a fish. That's a bigger fish. There we go. Better fish.
Feed me. Feed me.
Hey guys, it's SU Fly Fishing. So, what we're doing is we are actually reviewing a rod I got for guiding. I wanted a good, fun Euro rod for my setups. What it is, it's the Redington Field Kit setup. And I wanted to go out and test it. And what I had was about a 2-hour window in the evening where my wife let me go about 20 minutes, 25 minutes down the road to the local DH. And I say local because it's the closest DH I got to me. And matter of fact, the best trout water I got near me is probably an hour 15. I mean, I don't have much trout water just right there. And I don't think a lot of people do, but some people do. Some people are very blessed. All they gotta do is go walk out, walk 10 minutes down the road and there's a trout stream right there. I do not have that. I have to drive. But this DH is about 20-25 minutes away. And I want to try it out. So here's my review of the Redington Field Kit Euro setup. And I hope y'all enjoy. I'll see you back here after the fishing's done.
All right, we're going to start off with a mop fly. We are going to have about 20 foot, a maximum of 5 pound. We got about 2 foot of 5X Rio multicolor cider. And then we got about 4 foot of the Rio Floral Extra Strong 6X. We're going to start with the little green extra long mop fly. And this is delayed harvest, so fish should be pretty easy to catch. We'll see what happens. I'm real excited because I think they've put some more fish in here since the last time I've been in here. And the water's up. So usually the water being up is a good thing for fish. And I wouldn't be surprised if we kind of get into them like early. So I mean, well, not early, but often. I don't know, it also is very cold and the temperature's kind of been all over the place here, and this is a new rod. So so far I can tell it is very soft tip, which means that it's going to be a little bouncy on the hookups. So we'll see what happens. Oh gosh, yeah, something ate it right off the bat. What is that? Is that a little brookie? I'll tell you what, this is fun though. No, it's a little rainbow. Ate this right off the bat. Dadgum. It was on the drop. I didn't have to jig it or anything. I like to, with these extra long mop flies, I like to jig them whenever they hit the bottom. You can do a dead drift and that does work sometimes, but I've found putting a little jig into them. There we go. There it is. Okay. It's a little bit better. All right. So, yeah, that's a little bit better fish. Nothing huge so far, and that's fine. Again, we're around for maybe a couple hours, 2-3 hours. These fish are actually kind of pretty. I'm okay with it. Oh, goodness, come here. There it goes. And but because I'm jigging it, you got to watch for it. The extra line sometimes. So right there, that fish ate it, spit it, ate it, spit it. And sometimes fish will do that. They'll just come back, come up, come back, come up. Everything not finally, they'll get a solid thud. Yeah, I think these fish, these fish are quite pretty right now. I might switch to an egg here in a little bit just to see, because that just catches fish. Eggs just catch fish. Huh. Oh, there we go. I went to pick it up and there was something on there. Yeah, this is a lot of fun. These trout aren't very big and this rod has a lot of bend to it. I mean, look at that. But just regular 11, 12-inch stock fish. And you know what? It's a lot of fun, especially on this thing. Now again, I've yet to see how it handles bigger fish, and there are some bigger fish in here. Each year, the state puts like a few fish in here that are probably like 7, 8 pounds. If I get a whole one of those, that is going to be a big test for this. Oh gosh, there was a fish. So it seems like they're picking it up right on the drop. And ooh. Better fish. But yeah. They all seem to be right here, which, you know, that's fine. I'm cool with it. But I'm curious to see, because usually in this hole there's at least 2 big fish, and sometimes they're up there, up in the logs. And so, yeah, it's a little bit meatier fish. We got spots all over it. A little bit meatier. Oh goodness, 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 goodness. Come here. And that's fine. If they're up there, I can still cast in there, but I want to find out. And that's what an egg's for. Now, what I was saying before, when you go over like 15, 20 feet in front of you, you don't get a real good drift. Now, you can do a lot of things like feed it line and like try and leave it alone, let it sink on its own. But the problem is you lose contact, and if it's a real soft eat, it's really hard. You kind of have to guess when they eat. And it is whatever, you know, it's whatever. But there we go. You wanted to come and say hi to everybody. And again, I'm okay with catching fish all through right here. That's cool. But I would like something big just to test out. Like, these fish are getting bigger. Like, this is an actual, like, a 13-inch fish. Oh, there he goes. And that's cool. But now, if I was fishing a wild stream, I'd be doing a double nymph rig with like a size 18 as a point and a size 20 to 24 as a tag. And that's what I'd be doing. But we're fishing stocked fish, so, or delayed harvest fish. Nope. And I might not be any fish right in front of me for this. We're going to put it out and just watch the sider. Another thing you can do is you can put it out kind of laid out. It's not a very good, it's not a clean drift, but we don't need it to be super clean for this. And we're just going to give it a line and see if we see any jumps or anything. Like that. Leaving slack in the line and just watching for anything to jump. And I had a little bit of leader out and it shot down. And I hooked up, there's a fish. And that's one way you can do long distances. The problem though is if the fish are eating very quickly or they're eating very softly, you're not going to get real good. You know, it's not 100%. You're going to see the bite. So we're going to do the same thing. Just let the current cover everything. That's a bigger fish. There we go. All right, we'll be able to tell how this rod handles big fish. Still really bouncy, which is fine. I mean, that's cool. But the fact that it is so bouncy, that happens. Yeah, Okay. So even when using an indicator on this rod, works fine. Okay. Okay. Go. All right. So I'm just going to sit back and enjoy some fish catching. It's a better fish. Maybe. No, it was holding down there for a second. I thought maybe. But nope. Just a long distance away. Okay. Alright, come here, buddy. Oh, there he goes. Quick release. Okay. So we're gonna drift. Moved up a little, just a little bit. We're just going to drift through here. Isn't a good drift though, not a clean drift. We're having to cast at an angle right now. I didn't get a reaction. Same thing with these. If you're fishing a delayed harvest and you know that there's fish, and you've always had luck there, you don't have to stay somewhere to find out if the fish are pulling there. There we go. You know what? That was a good drift. That was a, pretty close drift. That was that rock, and that fish came up and ate it. And there was a decent reaction on the rod when I hooked up. So when there's not some slack and you are like genuinely tight line nymphing, like you got good contact with the fly, you can definitely tell. Really good, especially for beginners. I think this is a great starting off rod. In fact, I'd put it against some of the $200 to $300 rods and say it's about the same. Oh, there we go. Ancient art of looking away. Alright, last hole of the day, I decided to come down here. I probably could have picked off a few more, but I just wanted to see if I couldn't find a group of them that haven't been bothered today and just get after them. There we go. There we go. Very good. And its current feels really good too. But yeah, no, to be honest, this rod is a lot of fun. It's a ton of fun. Is it the most sensitive rod? No. Is it the best rod for drifting that I've ever eaten? No. For the price point though, I don't know if you can do much better. This is pretty awesome. There you go. Yep, fish. I didn't know where it was. I was walking up and I was sitting here looking at something else. I looked back for a second and wouldn't you know, indicators down. I'm gonna put this over there. Here we go. Here's a fish. All right. All right. Come here, come here, come here. We are going to take the indicator off and we're going to urinate the rest of this. Are we? No, we're not. Let's see. Oh, we'll let it drift. There we go. Little one. But plenty of fish. Okay. So I've caught probably close, like 20-25 fish here in the last couple hours. The rod itself, for its price point, is very good. There is a pretty substantial flimsiness to the tip of the rod, which makes, you know, it a little issue. Not a huge issue, but a little issue. It's pretty versatile. I actually think you can cast pretty good with this rod. When not, you know, just Euro nymphing, you can, I have a traditional like Euro setup on here, or traditional like tight line setup on here, and it is I feel like I can, because of the flimsy tip, I feel like I can cast out just a little better. The problem though is when it's a Euro rod, not just a long, well, it's meant for Euro nymphing. That's how they sell it. So but let's go back. For the price point, is it worth it? Yes, I think so, very much so. I think that's a good setup, give you a good reel, give you a good fly line for Euro nymphing, and the rod itself is a ton of fun. Honestly, if you're nymphing, you're just trying to get into some fish, like today, vast majority of my fish were between 10 and 14 inches. Jeez, I don't know what that was, but something just smashed it. And I mean, it put a huge bend in the rod. Here we go, another one. Oh, I'm about to take this indicator off and just start Euro nymphing, because indicator nymphing is kind of like with this is I'm not really doing a lot of the, you know, pros and cons for actually Euro nymphing, and I've been sitting here just catching fish. For rod, it's fun. The flimsiness is a little meh for me when it comes to Euro nymphing, but overall the rod is a good rod. And Redington themselves have always made fly rods that do the job, not an extremely high price point. And you know, I've had a ton of Redington rods in the past, and I've never gotten them and been like, these are awful. It's always been good. Yeah, it's doing exactly what I paid for. Here we go. Yep. Doing one more drift through here and then I'm going. Gee, a little bit cold. Alright. Cheeks. Alright. Here we go. Yeah, they're all.
Alright, so very much enjoyed it. It's a fun rod, really bendy. So I want to go over some of the things that I talked about when I mentioned, or things I said. I mentioned bouncy a lot. Bouncy is just a term that people use whenever you hook up into a fish and it gives a lot. Okay, that usually means a really soft tip, the really slow action tip. So if you got a rod and it's super flimsy, it bounces. It's very bouncy. I prefer, for me, a very fast action Euro tip. However, for what it is, for the price point it is, you get $100 and something reel, you get a $200 something rod, and you get you get Euro line, you get the backing, you get you basically get all this stuff put together, and and the rod case, which is about $550-$600, and you get it for about $400-$440, and it's a pretty interesting, somewhere between $400-$450, and it's fun. That's the best thing I say. Whenever I hook up, you can feel it bam, 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 being bouncy. It's real slow action. I like, the only problems you have with the real action is when you hook up and that fish starts doing the head shakes on the initial. If you don't have a good hook set, it's very likely that the rod giving it so much slack is allowing some space in between, or allowing some slack go in the line whenever it's head shaking, because the rod isn't staying tight to the hook. So there's a good chance for shaking head. Also, whenever that fish is going up and down, especially if you got a bigger fish on, up and down the water, if it turns its head real quick and that rod isn't solid and it gives and it's real bouncy, there's a good chance that that fish turning is going to put enough slack in the line that hook's going to come out. And this is very, very true for people that use barbless hooks like I do. So, however, the positive side, price point's good for everything that you get. And it's an awful lot of fun. That rod, you hook up into a 12-inch fish, it doubles over at the handle. I mean, it's a good time. So is it as good as my $1,000 setups or anything like? No, but is it fun for what it is? Most definitely, it's a good time. I enjoyed myself. Also, it seems like if you're just doing a traditional, like if you go ahead and clamp on an indicator and just want to do some kind of just indicator fishing, give it a different angle of presentation, especially far distances, that's a good time. It's a good time, and it actually casts pretty good. That soft tip helps load a little bit better when for a traditional, but for what it is, the Euro setup, it is not a super technical rod, but what it is a whole lot of fun for a good price point. And I would say, as far as Euro rods that I've tried around that price point, like the 200, 250, it holds up really well. And it's just it's a lot of good fun. So, the reel itself, is really slick. It's nice. Drag is good, so on and so forth. And the line they give you is, really, really nice line for Euro, nymphing. So, I mean, everything that I saw didn't scream, overpriced. It didn't scream ridiculous. It was exactly what you paid for, and it's a whole lot of fun, which fly fishing is meant to be fun. So it was a good time. I very much enjoyed myself, and I would encourage y'all to maybe give it a look if you're trying to get into Euro nymphing. So I hope y'all enjoyed, guys. If you have any questions or statements, please put them down below in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. That helps out a lot. And if you want to see more, please subscribe. I have over 150 fishing videos or fishing content type stuff that y'all might enjoy. Hope y'all get out there, guys. Keep warm and, tight lines blessing, and I'll see you in the next one.